why did you first start playing rugby?
I first started when I was about 7 or 8, and just because my brother played, so I followed him along to training. At the time it was for a team called Glencoe Golden Eagles. There was about 4 or 5 of us that played just every week in Glencoe. Full contact, passing the ball around, beating each other up in the rain for an hour or so every week. And it was pretty tough, to be honest. I'd probably say for the first few weeks I didn't enjoy it because the boys were 2 or 3 years older than me. It was me getting tackled into touch a lot of the time. But I kept going and slowly started to enjoy it as I kind of improved a little bit.
Were you from a sporting family? Would you say that there was a history of sporting activity involvement in the family?
Definitely, yeah. So my dad's a ski instructor and a mountain guide as well. So from when we could walk, we were up in the hills skiing and climbing and passing a ball about in the garden, football, rugby, shinty. So sport's always been a huge part of my life. I remember getting forced into climbing because that was kind of my dad's passion. He skis and all that kind of stuff, but climbing is his real passion, and I'm terrified of heights. So I remember just being like stuck on this rock starfish, and he would walk up and just pick me up and take me back down again. But no, always out in the woods playing with friends and that kind of thing.
So tell me about skiing. How much did you get into that? What kind of levels did you take that to?
So we skied pretty much every weekend from the age of about 5 or 6, and then I didn't take it too seriously. It was just with friends and going through like kind of grades, getting better and better every year. And then when I got to the age of 12, I won a bursary to go out to Chamonix in France. So then I started racing and taking it a lot more seriously, and when I reached about the age of 14, I got into the Scottish Alpine ski team and was away every school holiday. I was away racing at the British Champs, at the English Championships, and kind of went from there. So I didn't really play too much rugby during that time because skiing was my priority.
So you were representing the country in skiing. How did that develop, and then how did rugby take over?
So when I reached the age of 17 or 18, I'd finished school, and the decision was, do I go to university and pursue a career, or do I take a year out and potentially just do skiing full time? And that's not funded. It's very much kind of parents helping you out and seeking personal sponsorship yourself. So I thought I was good, but I was never going to be the best. I was never going to be an Olympian or anything like that. So I thought, you know what, I've probably reached my peak. I'm going to go to university and pursue a career in that sort of thing. And rugby was always at the back of my mind, but I didn't go to university thinking I'm going to play rugby. I actually tried out for the football team at Edinburgh University, and there was 150 other girls, and I didn't get selected. I made the first trial and that was it. But I knew that I wanted to join a team and like make new friends. So I'd seen posters, women's rugby posters about, so I thought I'll go along and give it a go. I went on a Monday night. I remember it was freezing cold, and we just did contact the whole time. But then I talked to the coach at the end, and she said, "Do you want to come and play on Wednesday? We're playing a friendly." And I thought, yeah, why not? And yeah, I was just hooked from then on.
So when did rugby become a possibility for you? When did your love of it, when did your skill level at it, when did you think I could take this further?
Even when I won my first cap for Scotland, I didn't think I could be a professional at this. I think at that point Jade still hadn't got a contract, so it wasn't really an option for us. I was still just playing rugby because I loved it, and the honour of playing for Scotland was enough. So I think when I first realised this could be an opportunity was maybe when Lisa and Chloe and Jade all went to France. I was working full time in Edinburgh, and I just remember thinking, that's so cool, like that's something that I want to do. And I kind of thought maybe I could be another one who gets one in a few years' time. Just keep working hard and enjoy what I do.
So, getting the offer of a contract, what was that moment like for you?
Pretty surreal. I remember being sat in the meeting and I couldn't really believe what I was hearing. yeah, just the dream come true. To know that, so I knew I was going to be in France before, but I didn't know that I was going to be supported, and it just kind of took that stress away of, not only am I moving to a new country, but I'm going to have to find a new job, I'm going to have to do all these things. It just meant that I could relax and go kind of with a clear head and just concentrate on rugby, concentrate on making new friends and being comfortable in France and learning French and all those little things.
So how comfortable have you been doing all that?
It is very difficult, and I knew before I went that it was going to be, but just little things like having the confidence to go to the shop and do all these things on your own. The amount of times I've been shouted at in French supermarkets for, you have to weigh your vegetables and scan them, and I went in once and they always want to see in your backpack, and I'd forgotten potatoes or something, so I did all my shopping. I went back round and bought them, and she shouted at me because I already had food from the shop, and I was like, it's fine, like, here's my receipt, but apparently that's not allowed. Just little things like that, little differences. And speaking French, I think I have improved, and I get by on the pitch, but it's being in a big group with the team, everyone's talking really fast, it's tough. I think friends and family are like really important, and they were really supportive about me going to France, and talking every day to mum and dad and friends back here. It makes a big difference having that support network. Also, the girls in Montpellier were really good with me, really welcoming. I think the first week I was there, I was eating at somebody else's house every night after training, playing games, and so having them kind of make that effort with me and make me feel really welcome made a big difference.
You've been playing at 10 for Scotland in the first 2 games of the Six Nations. Yeah. How have you looked back at those 2 games?
They've been frustrating, not going to lie. We definitely went into both of them thinking these are games that we can win and should win. After Italy especially, I think the scoreline really didn't reflect how we played. But yes, we're frustrated, but we come together and we look the next day, we look at some clips and we're like, wow, like we played really, really well there for 20 minutes, but we just didn't quite maybe make that extra pass, or we weren't clinical in the finishing. And I think at this level, it's small margins. Yes, we've had 20 minutes of possession and territory, but moving to the next level, it's not good enough to say, oh, we're happy with that. The next level is getting points out of that. When you've got your foot on the throat, that's when you need to press and actually get the points on the board, and that's how you beat teams. And we know that, and we have been harsh on each other. We've been harsh, like personally reviewing each other, and we're kind of getting to that point where we're not happy just being in the Six Nations. We want to perform. We know how good we can be. And it's spurring each other on, spurring ourselves on, and that result will come.
Knowing the squad as you do, knowing the potential that's in the Scotland squad, albeit they might not be getting some of the results at the moment, how excited are you about seeing the potential of each person and as a team being fulfilled in however number of years it is? Are you excited by what this team can potentially achieve?
Yeah, so excited. I think I've been in the Scotland squad for 2 or 3 years now, and it's the same group of girls, it's the same backline, and I think we've progressed so much, and to look to see where we could be, it's really, really exciting. And we say to each other week on week, like, we could be, I genuinely believe we could be one of the best backlines, one of the best teams in the world. We just need to believe in ourselves. And when you've got the likes of Megan Kennedy and Lana Skilled, and they're still young players, but they're top class, I would back them against anyone in their position in the world. So it's kind of backing each other up and spurring each other on to be better. It's a really tight-knit group. It's the most gelled it's been since I've been there. And that can only help, I think, on the pitch. If you're able to have honest conversations on the pitch and off the pitch, it helps everything, it helps performance, and I think you're playing alongside your best mates, and I think that shows. And although we're going through some tough times at the moment, we all want to improve for each other and for ourselves. And I think, yeah, the results will come. We just need to keep believing in ourselves.